Pizza pockets in the 90s were all the rage. I remember seeing the ads on TV as a kid and saying, "Mum, please, can you buy me one?" They'd actually come frozen and they were delicious. But nothing beats a homemade one. So I'm going to make you my pizza pockets from scratch, and I'm going to stuff it with lots and lots of cheese. Mozzarella to be specific. So let's get on to the pizza dough. Here I've got a mixture of yeast and water, and you can see how it's a little bit bubbly. That means that the yeast has activated. Now, in order for that to activate, you do need that water to be warm, and you need it to sit in a warm spot. So that'll take about half an hour, depending on the temperature of the room. To that, I'll add some butter, just a small amount, and I've also softened this butter. Some sugar, just some caster sugar. And I've attached a dough hook for this. It's just going to make it much easier to knead. So I'm using the mixer. You can actually do this by hand if you like. So mix this part into a bowl, then add the flour, but you will need to knead this for at least 10 minutes. So this is going to take roughly 5 minutes. So once this starts, I'm going to add the flour and some salt, a good pinch of salt, about a teaspoon. And the flour you want to use is plain flour. And if you can get some bread and pizza flour, even better. All right, here we go. All right, we have a lovely sticky dough. We'll take it out of the bowl, and now we need to place it into a greased bowl so it can start to prove. So just a glass bowl like this one, and just so it's not too sticky, a hint of oil, and just spread that oil into the bowl. We'll grab our lovely ball of dough. Ooh, looks good. Look at that. Oh, I just love making my own dough at home. So relaxing. That goes in there, and a little bit of Glad wrap over the top. And this needs to prove for about 1 hour or until it doubles in size. So pop that just somewhere near your oven and just allow that to sit there for a while. And once it doubles in size, we can go on to the next stage. Look at this ball of dough. It was so small and it's doubled in size. It's become super fluffy. It's always a shame at this stage of the dough making process because we have to knock it back. So grab some flour onto a clean surface and just flour your hands too. We'll take out our dough. Oh, and that's all the light fluffiness gone, but it was totally worth it because we're going to get a lovely pizza pocket out of it. So I'm just going to knead it and turn it into a rough ball. And with a knife, I'm going to cut this into 8 portions. So this makes 8 pizza pockets. So we'll cut it in half. Look at that. You know this is a good dough. We'll cut it into 2 again, and then into 4 portions. So you'll know you'll get perfect, even pizza pockets. And I like to place the rest of my portions under a clean tea towel, just so they don't dry out. So we'll just do that. And working with one at a time, we just want to roll it in that flour. And you can just do this by hand if you want, because it's quite elastic, as you can see. But we want it to be roughly 10 centimetres. And I say roughly because we're going to wrap it up into a ball in a moment. All right, let's talk mozzarella. I'm using 2 varieties of mozzarella. One, some little buffalo bocconcini, because I love the creaminess and the delicateness of it. And then I'm using some shredded mozzarella, so we really get that stringy effect. So when you're using these gorgeous bocconcini, I just love these with tomato, but they're fantastic in this too. Just drain off any excess liquid. We don't want too much liquid. And I'm going to use half of these. And this is the best part, just breaking it in half. Look how creamy and gooey it is. This is what makes me happy, cheese and bread together. So into this, we'll add a little more of the shredded mozzarella, and the combination of those are going to work really well as it cooks together. So now we bring in the sides and make a little parcel. And we want the seam side on the base for a moment while we squish this and make it into a little pizza pocket. Now what I like to do is grab my rolling pin and just roll that so we're really closing off all that yummy cheese in our pizza pocket. Now I'm using the combination of buffalo bocconcini and the shredded mozzarella, but that doesn't mean you have to stop there. If you like, you could add some tomato paste, some mushrooms. It's completely up to you. I like that pure creaminess and the stringiness of cheese only, particularly because I'm going to add a little delicious topping to it later on. So that's our first pizza pocket made. I'm going to make another 8 of these and then we can start frying them. Okay, I did allow the pizza pockets to prove just one more time, but you only need to leave them for about 15 minutes at most because you don't want them to double in size. You just want them to puff up slightly. And here they are, they look just perfect. Now I'm preheating a pan and I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to a bowl and just lightly brush them with some olive oil, just being really gentle. I'll just turn them over and then brush the oil on the other side. You really don't want them to stick in the pan. And you want the pan to be quite warm, so I've got it on a medium to high heat. And don't forget, there's still quite a lot of dough there and we do need to melt that cheese. So you want to give it 1 to 2 minutes on each side or until they're golden and puffy. Pockets are golden brown, they're puffy, and we're just going to take them out of the pan and do allow them to cool slightly because they are piping hot. And this is where it gets exciting. I'm going to serve this with some honey and chili because that salty creaminess of the cheese along with the sweetness of the honey and a little pop of heat from the chili works so well. So a tiny drizzle. You really don't need much at all to make a difference, but just a small drizzle over the top. Give it a lovely little shine too. Ooh. And a little pinch of that chili. Oh, and that is a small little humble pocket of joy right there because it's all about cutting into it and tasting that gooey warm cheese. So let's cut into it. And let's have a look. Oh, see that gooey cheese? Yum! Pizza pocket. Oh, yep, I feel like a kid again. That's why everyone loved those pizza pockets, because of that gooey cheese. And without further ado, I should have a taste. Gooey mozzarella. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it? Look at that. Pure joy right there.